What is good? All right, y'all. This gonna be a short post-market analysis. Um, it was a red day for me. Um, it just is what it is. But with that, I learned a very valuable lesson. We did have a 1 hour gap. Um, I'm gonna delete this so you can see where the gap was pre-market. I think it was a little bit bigger pre-market, and we kind of chewed through some of it before the market opened. um, I did end up getting faked out. There was also a 15-minute gap. Um, my first trade, y'all, I placed my order. It was profitable. I placed it exactly from, I want to say like $51 to 65. And I always talk about how when it comes to IWM, 65 is a take profit amount, and it hit like 3 times, and I just wasn't able to get back into my screen quick enough to um, salvage the trade. And so I got like a very like laughable tiny whopper of a um, green trade. And then I got chopped and screwed. Actually, yeah, as I'm looking at this, I remember what happened. But I learned a valuable lesson too. So, um, for whatever reason, I jumped into a trade right here, right here. Okay. Um, and I held for a long time. I actually held until we got here. Um, which I have held. Which if I had held for like 3 more minutes, I probably would have been okay. But at that point, my profit was pretty bad. Um, and I really want to respect my rules, because I think part of the thing was I waited until right here to get out, because at that point I should have gotten out here when we broke below this fast DMA. But I wanted to see if we were gonna try to bounce off of the fast, off of this VWAP. That being said, um, I did. The second trade was an internal breakout, and that one. This is just reminder whenever that internal breakout happens, which is you can. Did I mark the level? I didn't. When that happens, they like to get their 1 to 1 ratio, which it looks like they did. They came out and filled the gap. I was at work when I watched it. I was so mad because I got to work at 8:30, and at that point it had filled the gap, and I was like, wow. So I could have done better on my execution, like I said. I mean, once I got in, I was like, oh, try to hold through it. Here you can see we bounced off of the VWAP. We held above the fast DMA, and I saw that we kept trying to break above the 200, which is a pretty strong level. Also, the pivot is another strong level. Hold on 1 second. Sorry about that. I'm still catching the cold again. So, yeah, it was just bad execution. I think that it was just messed up. Now, where I really messed up was my third trade. And I'm not gonna say I didn't follow my rules. I feel like what's gonna move me forward, moving forward, is holding my winners longer. Um, and because when I do have winners, I'm cutting them really, really short. But if I held on to them as nearly as long as I did with these losers and stuff, like if I was just really holding and sticking to that fast DMA, like if I had gotten in here instead of just jumping out at $65, that take profit level, like if I was just to hold a little bit more until I hit either 1 to 1 or hit a higher level. Oh, it's something I need to work on. I had all this is my first red day since last year, and for this week, I mean for this year. So it just is what it is. Now, the valuable lesson I learned for those of you who have been with me for a while, um, I know I have the 50-minute liquidity indicator, and I know well it had gone off, and I know something happens when it goes off, but I've been trying to determine which direction is it moving in. Sometimes it will say sell side and we'll sell. Sometimes it will say sell side, and like today we will go to the upside. I apologize, but here is what I found out. So the next time we see a 15-minute liquidity thing, we need to wait for the 3 minute for this to come up. This is sell side liquidity right here. We need to wait for it to form on the 3 minute, and then we can light it up. So I think, oh yeah, it's right here. I want to make it a little bit bigger because I was looking for it when I was at work, and I was like, I don't see it. Let me see it. Let's see if I can make it a little bit bigger. I'm gonna. Usually when I make it so small, so maybe I'll just make another circle over it. Another circle over it. I'm gonna get better at making these circles. So this had extended further out. Um, and I remember I was in puts and I was holding. And so sure enough, I was like, if price breaks above this level right here, we're going to the upside. And at that point, I didn't want to jump into it. Oh, actually, no. Your girl did take 4 trades. I did. I sure did. I took another trade and it was running up. And then I saw this wig and I'm like, girl. So I just jumped out. I still got a small profit, so my loss wasn't as bad for the day. But yes, um, I just at that point I knew that I had started to order over trading, and I just couldn't take another possibility that it would, you know, wipe me out completely. But that was the play. Um, so that's a valuable lesson I learned today. I think I'm just gonna keep it short. I'm tired. Just finished my 12,000 steps. Um, did not sleep good last night, but I still got up and got up at 4, got my exercise in, pre workout before work. Um, Lovely, rough day at work. Um, Amazing lunch, which was kind of like low key comfort food. And then, oh, what time is it? I need to call my niece. Okay, I'm gonna talk to you guys later. We try again in the morning, right? Um, the way that this played out for the puts is You know, interesting. We did fill the puts, but now we just got to be a little bit more aware. Thought it was interesting that it kept rejecting right at the brink here. So I know a lot of people got liquidated trying to hold this um, for this gap and stuff. But anyways, guys, we'll try again tomorrow. You know, um, just try to stay healthy, get your rest, and we'll try getting money. I will talk to y'all later. Bye.